Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham may now have entered a place where they cannot coexist. So you've got, we talked about this yesterday on the air, on this show, because it happened while we were on this show. Odell Beckham Jr.'s father found or was sent or somehow became aware of an 11-minute YouTube video that showed a whole bunch of plays, 11 minutes worth of plays, that showed either Odell being open and Baker Mayfield not throwing him the ball, or Odell being open and Baker throwing him an inaccurate pass. And the dad posts this on the day of the trade deadline. Parenthetically, LeBron later tweets, "Free OBJ," which is fascinating to me because he's a Cowboy fan, but whatever. And then I get a note from Nuno that says that Baker Mayfield's wife is on social media liking all kinds of different posts that defend Baker and criticize his teammates. So we have gotten ourselves into a terrible place here in Cleveland, and I don't know if this is one they're going to be able to get out of, because it's one thing for those guys not to have chemistry. It's an entirely other thing for them to have beef. Now, I told you yesterday the description of chemistry. Right now, when you have Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham on your team and they have no chemistry, what they are is Baker plus Odell. They are a sum total. When you have chemistry, if they had chemistry, they would be Baker times Odell. They would be greater than the sum of their parts. That's what chemistry is. What you have now might very well be diminished Baker and Odell based on this and the impact it can have on the rest of the locker room and the rest of the team. Like, I can't personally fathom how uncomfortable that has got to be today. I have to believe that Odell believed yesterday he was going to get himself traded. That his dad post that thing, LeBron post that thing. Not for 1 second do I believe that Odell was unaware those things were going to happen. I'm not sure what he'll say about it today, but whatever. I believe that he was trying to get himself traded. And what we're told by our insiders, Kmart this morning and everything else, is that there were no takers, that no one was interested in giving up anything for him and primarily his contract. That's got to be a pretty tough pill to swallow if you're Odell Beckham Jr. But even worse now is that he has done everything a person can do to get himself traded and then wasn't. So now what happens? So the Browns, who are still very much in the thick of things, like they're in it, and in a conference where 7 teams are going to make the playoffs, and even in the division race, they've got a chance. They've got a good chance of making the playoffs. They need to figure this thing out, and fast. So Bubba, many people may not know this, but Bubba, before his career here in radio production, Bubba did many years as a marriage counselor and couples therapy and all that kind of thing. He has several advanced degrees in that area. Is it a PhD you have in that, or just a master's that you have?
One of each.
You have one of each. He has a PhD. He has a PhD and a master's in couples therapy. So if you were to have the two of them in a room right now, if Baker and Odell were to come in there today, Bubba, what would you say to them?
What I would do is I would get a facsimile of the Lombardi Trophy, place it in between them, and say, listen, boys, all that other stuff, not important. Catching a pass here, dropping a pass here, missing that here, what your dad tweets there, all that stuff, that's not important. What's important, boys, is you winning this. We got to come together and win this. Don't worry about the outside noise. Don't worry about who's having the better game. We're in this together to win this and become immortals.
I love it. That's actually very well done. That's a good speech. That actually might work. In relationship goals, you're actually having them visualize the goal of their relationship. They can actually see it and imagine what it is they want to do. They want to hoist the Lombardi at the end, which neither of them has ever done. Okay, so I like it. So do I think that works? No, because I think this is a disaster, and I don't think it gets better. And I don't think this season is salvageable. I told you yesterday, Baker Mayfield blew this whole season by trying to make a tackle and getting blown up in week 2. He's not going to be healthy the rest of the year, and they can't win anything without him being healthy. So it was all over then. And now the relationship, I think, has gotten to a point where they're going to have to move Odell after the season. So I don't think there's any way in the world that Beckham is back there next year. And where he winds up, I don't know. We understand the Saints, who now have lost Michael Thomas for the season, were in it yesterday, at least inquiring about the possibility of bringing him in there, but we will see. It does not sound like that is the likelihood, or at least it's not going to happen. They're not going to cut him, so he's not going anywhere the rest of this season. So that is just an unadulterated mess and disaster in Cleveland, and I don't think it gets better before it gets worse.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.